I can go first.
Awesome.
So just echoing some stuff from the dev call, Docusaurus testing, and sorry, I can hear Lauren's mic echoing me, and it's kind of distracting. um, Sorry, so Docusaurus testing, and right now I would like to know about the RGive onboarding because I think I was a little bit overwhelmed with information jumping in. So if I could add that in there. Um, Intentions, update, see what's going on with the community. Nice to have Danny back. Distractions, I had one and I don't have any anymore. So we're good. So I'll pass it off to Willie.
Thanks, Mitch. Hello, everybody. Great to see you guys. Updates for this past week. Did some work on the token stuff. Got a plan in place with Forest. We're going to be doing like a sprint cycle, 2-week sprint cycle with the Give token, and we're hoping to kick off our first sprint with Gabby this week. So thank you everybody who voted on the proposal to get the to approve the distribution and issuance model for Give token. That's a big step forward. I wish I had more time this past week. Ended up being a very busy week with prod issues and stuff at Shapeshift. So I was up late a lot of nights and didn't get much sleep, but was definitely thinking about the token a lot. Griff, I think I have come around, and I see what you're thinking with the staking, and I do think that that's a good solution for MVP, staking for projects to help solve some of the challenges that creating a token that people can get by donating introduces. So started a doc in Notion, just so we're just going to keep a lot of the token stuff outlined and up to date in that doc. And yeah, we'll be working on that and hopefully getting started with Gabby on that this week, and we'll figure out if we're ready to start building or what the blockers are. But yeah, want to start making some progress on that soon because clock is ticking, as we all know. Distractions, no distractions, feeling very focused, excited to sync up with everybody today and get ready for hopefully soft launch of the Giveth app, V2 app this next week. Should be a fun week. Great progress, everybody, on the development side this past week. And I'll pass it to James.
Yeah, it's been a good week, productivity-wise. Going deep into some refactoring on the dApp, just like making the code a bit more resilient and future-proof. Yeah, I also did some work on the narrative, which was inspired by Griff's video and Google Doc. It's in Notion, and it's kind of like, I guess, like a sort of proposal on like a problem that we're solving in the current philanthropy space, I would say. And I think it connects quite well with what Griff has been thinking and what we've been talking about. So yeah, I'd invite anyone and everyone to have a look and contribute their thoughts, I guess. Otherwise, my intentions are to catch up with you all and see where we're at and see where we're going. And I'm not distracted at all. And I would pass it to Ashley.
Updates. I've been trying to document a lot of my own onboarding process throughout all of this so that I can help to create more onboarding documentation for other people with the facts and everything, and just understanding that because I'm kind of new in this whole world, like my perspective could be valuable as I learn things to like document that. Intentions for the call, just coming back and checking in with all of you and seeing what's up for this week and where I can best apply myself. And I don't really have any distractions at the moment. And I'll pass it to Tommy.
Hello. Updates. I've been working on a couple of memes. The video from Griff and the outline that he was kind of going over helped a little bit to get the narrative straight. So I'm interested in what James is working on. my intentions for this call are to learn some about the tokens and just keep in touch with what's going on. No distractions. I will pass it to Lauren.
Hi. Updates. Yeah. Last week I just was helping a little bit with hacking through some of the FAQ document. And then the last couple of days I've been like away from my computer, which has been great. I don't know, saw family a little bit and drove around, and so it was like, woo. And today I went to check out the waterfall in the morning, so it's really nice. So updates is like I took some time for myself too. And yeah, and distractions, I'm not too distracted. Yeah, I'm happy to be here and sync up with everybody, see what's going on and like what needs to get done this week and what I can help with. Yeah, and I'll pass it to Amin.
Yeah, hello, you catch a bad moment to pass to me. Hi, I'm distracted by my son. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. This week, I am still teaching the new devs, and this one, yeah, new, they're great, but I did the most. I spent a lot of time in reviewing and teaching new devs. I spent lots of time on debugging the application, fixing the bug and Giveth one bridge manager, but payment wasn't done. You have mentioned it. And yeah, and we have fixed lots of issues in Giveth when I don't like my more. I will pass it to Matthew.
Hey everyone, I wish you a happy Sunday. Not distracted, and just as James, I'm coming from a really productive week for development in the DApp. Getting ready for this week to be even more productive towards the release, the soft kind of live release of the application. And my intention is to sync up with everyone and yeah, see you in here. I'll set to, I'm not sure, Griff, have you come?
I haven't. As far as updates for the week, not much other than talking with Edu from DappNode about the vesting contract and how that's possible. He said that he wants to help Giveth. You know, Edu from DappNode, the first thing that he did in crypto was work on Giveth and made the Wall of Fame. This is a long time ago. So he's super excited to help us with the token as well, and I think we'll have a lot of support from DappNode, and we can follow their wave a little bit. Other than that, not a lot of updates, just the classic Giveth one work that I mostly focus on, but I'm very distracted by the progress you guys are making on Giveth 2. It's looking really cool, guys. Like, I can't believe that, I mean, we almost launched today, right? And now we're just delaying a week. I mean, that's amazing. This is fantastic news. So I'm super stoked about the progress that's being made and how quickly. And also, like Danny said about the team in Costa Rica, it's so cool to have you guys have our back. This is something that Giveth's been missing for a long time. So it's I feel like we have all the pieces, and now we just got to get to work. As far as distractions, the other distraction is Amin's kid is super cute, so that's kind of cool. Danny, did you go?
I did not. Am I the last one? Looks like it. Well, I'll go. My progress is I built an awesome bamboo structure last week and built a team that knows how to build it. That's going to come build the next one. But I didn't really do much on Giveth other than answer any requests, questions from the Costa Rica crew, which I think I was able to help where I could to be useful and keep everything going, which was amazing. It was like being in multiple places at once. So my intentions are to run an epic phone call and get everybody up to date knowing what we're going to do this week, and do some amazing marketing strategizing for our launch. And I am only distracted by the epic nature on the other side of this computer screen. And let's see. Do we not have a Kai? I didn't hear a Kai go.
Yeah, no, I didn't go. Hey, good Sunday. I'm not distracted now. I might be distracted by family later. My intention is to follow the updates of you guys and see what we have in the agenda. Progress this week. I had a little sit-in with the Costa Rica team about the docs and Contentful and the wiki. We can make another one tomorrow if you want. I think there are many more points to discuss even. I did some fixes on our deployments and on the code base for Giveth, not the code base, some visual fixes. And what else? I joined another sprint by the token engineering community and looked how they do their dev calls, and actually it was pretty nice to see that in the time it took me to actually join the call, we ramped up. So I learned a little bit, but we are pretty good, I think, right now with our dev calls. We could improve a bit with the labels, I saw. You can do a lot of nice filtering, and you can also make the lanes broader than one. I didn't know that. So I think I might have forgotten something, but never mind. Am I the last one? Then I give it back to Dani.
Thank you. Yep, that's everybody. So where are we going next to our agenda? Let's talk about the Reputation DAO and the Give. I know a few of you are interested in knowing the pathway. That's towards the end of this item, but let's start with our current proposals. Kai, your wallet change proposal, the one to add your new wallet, that passed successfully.
It worked. I already voted.
And it's working, and you voted. Yay. Cool. We don't have a Marco on the call right now, so I'll let that one slide till I check with him, because we want to get a proposal in to switch his wallet too. Other update is the December payouts proposal, number 5. Wait, that number isn't right somewhere. It passed, so you should have PAN in your wallets. Hooray. And then we have our current live proposal number 7. So the first one that Willie put up earlier in the week didn't get the participation we needed to pass. So a little note to ourselves that we have a short time frame on that, and should probably ping people directly while we get used to doing this. But in the meantime, we did it again. So if you have not yet voted, when I looked at this morning, we had 33%, needed another 20%. So a couple more of you can hit this link right here for proposal number 7, where it says cast your vote. And let's get that through so we can keep moving. There is a DAO channel on the Discord that is for the Give token holders, but it's also open to any active community members who are regularly contributing. When we launched it, we talked about keeping it static, who the token holders are for the first couple of months while we get a few votes through. And then we can submit a proposal for how new members can receive tokens on the next issuance. So do engage in there. If that's something you're interested in, you can give us feedback, ask us questions. Anybody have any other items, questions, or thoughts around the Reputation DAO? You're all
Looks like
voting
we're up
right now, aren't you?
Looks like we're up to 50% support now, which is good. That means we're enough. Unless anyone votes no, we are good to go. We needed 20% approval total, which we now have.
Excellent. Okay. I'm gonna give a quick fundraising update. A question came into me around the payment routing for tax deductions. So there is a little thread conversation. I was talking with Snappy Snap about this, I think in governance, perhaps. New. All right, I don't remember where exactly it is. I will find it. But basically what we're looking at is understanding how can we provide tax deductions for donations that come into the Giveth DApp and then get dispersed directly to recipients. There is a way that it can be done from the SDG impact side of the house. The question is whether we can do it on the Giveth side. What it means is giving SDG impact purview over the wallets that we use or the contracts. And I don't have any idea how we can do that. It feels like something we could do. I don't think multi-sig is the answer because we don't want to have to sign things. But this is the current question that we have is how do we make tax deductions more accessible to the donors? And so I have a call with Brian to talk this through a little bit more because the donation has to come from the donor to SDG impact held, and it can be jointly held wallet or account in some way in order for the donor to get the tax deduction. So there's a possibility that we could do this once it leaves Giveth, if it goes into a wallet that goes to the DAF in the donor's name and then gets dispersed from there. But that feels complicated too. So I think we just need to have a little jam session and talk through this a little bit more. Because as I look at our marketing campaign and the memes and things, I want to be able to have very clear documentation for all donors, what they need to do in order to get that tax deduction and figure out how we make it as invisible and seamless to them as possible. I see you scratching your beard, Griff, so if you have a thought on it, let me know.
I do. Well, I missed it in the Giveth 2 update call, but was there part? I was just thinking on the fiat side, it's very easy, right? Like if we have a fiat solution and it's like you get tax deductions on fiat donations, that's pretty simple. And then, or not simple, but that seems like pretty easily doable without a lot of smart contracts or anything. But eventually in the roadmap, I assume we will have a smart contract system on XDAI. And then when it's in that smart contract system, it's very easy to say, well, this is part of the Give ecosystem, right? It's in our smart contracts. And then earning interest of all things, hopefully. So I think that's the path. I mean, the other way is like, at least with the Giveth 1 platform, we have the bridge, and the Giveth multi-sig has control of the bridge. So I would think it's pretty easy for donations on Giveth 1, or that go through Giveth 1, to be able to say these are part of the Giveth DAF.
So that's the piece that is tricky, Griff, because just because it's in Giveth, it's not quite enough for the tax deduction. SDG impact has to have some oversight, like they might need to be a multi-sig. They might need to be on that contract or something. This is what Brian was explaining to me, but we're going to have a full chat about it this week. I
mean, if we added them to the multi-sig, I mean, that's one transaction, and then boom, they're part of the Giveth multi-sig, and they're part owner of the Giveth bridge. At least for Giveth 1, that seems like a very quick, easy fix or potential solution.
Yeah, that's what I thought, is that on Giveth 1 side, it's pretty easy. I just don't quite see how to do it yet on Giveth 2 for the crypto donations, unless we use an SDG owned wallet as the one that it goes through when it comes in.
I mean, maybe it depends on how they deal with crypto, right? Because like, from what I understand about their fiat bank accounts, it's like one bank account that everything goes into, and there's kind of different labels on it, right? And if if they can deal with it in the same way with crypto, in that like all that we need to do is send the payment to a wallet that they control, then it should be pretty easy, you know? But it kind of depends on them and how they deal with this, with how they deal with crypto, if it works in the same way or otherwise.
There's also a lot of times people will start a company, and in fact we did this with the White Hat Group a long time ago, where we just say these addresses are owned by the White Hat Group, and we just literally just list them out and create basically a registry of addresses that are under purview of the White Hat Group, but owned by this person or controlled by that person, you know. And it's like the White Hat Group's just an imaginary organization, like some imaginary boundary that we drew around real people that control the keys. So it'd be really interesting if people could opt in to the SDG impact thing, and then, but they have to get their 5%. They have to get their 5%. So never mind, I take it back.
Yeah. Yeah, that 5% is the other thing that we're going to have a chat about. I want to, because there are some bank transaction fees that I see showing up on some of my other DAFs. So I want to get really clear on what those costs are, make sure that they're in that 5%.
Yeah, the 5% is interesting. And I know we're talking about also using the Give token to kind of get an alternative to these tax deductions, right? So I wonder how that would conflict. I think with fiat, it's a little bit simpler, and it would make sense for a project that wants to, you know, be able to accept tax deductible donations in fiat to kind of apply, opt into that, and then get approved, and then, you know, donations in fiat go to the SDG account and then get dispersed to them, and they take the 5% and it's all tax deductible. For crypto, perhaps maybe we don't need to figure it out for crypto, and instead we just offer the alternative. And if you want your donations in crypto to be tax deductible, they're not really tax deductible, but instead the crypto donors are getting Give tokens, and that might even be preferable to a lot of people who would be donating crypto. They might prefer to just get tokens and not have to do the tax deduction. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I think that was what we had already established, that that's going to be the option. Either they can have the tax deduction or they can have the token.
But I think what Willie's saying is, what if we just take it out of scope for crypto donations for now? Just like if someone's donating crypto, there's no tax deduction unless we at least that's not in the scope for the next couple of months of trying to solve that.
Right. So it's not even in fast follow, perhaps.
Yeah. Which I think that follows with the memes that we're trying to create, like, and also it's like a nice thing. It's like, okay, yeah, if you want regular tax deductions, you're a regular nonprofit, you can use Giveth too. You know, it's not just for the crypto natives. You can do tax deductions the normal way, but maybe while you're here, you might want to try out this crypto thing. It's kind of cool.
Right.
I think it aligns well with the narrative that James is working on too, and some of the issues that get created by the whole tax deduction system, and how that causes some issues in the nonprofit giving economy.
So I think this is further down in the agenda, but do we actually have fiat integration for the MVP?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So I don't know if you guys have heard this yet, but James had mentioned last week that he kind of just in his free time built a basic on-ramp integration. James, do you want to give a quick update?
Yeah, basically, I noticed that HoneySwap like integrated ramp.network, and like I had seen them before and proposed them to us like more than once. So I thought I'd just try it out and see how easy it is to do it. And like in 5 minutes, I had a widget that essentially looks to easily onboard somebody. Since then, I realized that actually ramp.network is integrated already into Taurus, along with MoonPay and all the others. And then I remembered, I think the reason why we didn't go down this road before is because we didn't have, help me with this word, L1CI3PO thing that we have now, or that we had no legal entity, I believe. So we couldn't engage with these on-rampers, which we now do. So I think we can on-ramp like super easy now. Yeah, like within hours. We could change the code and provide this functionality in a few hours, I would say. So it's a slightly different idea than having like fiat to fiat, like with Stripe or Braintree. And fiat to fiat is cool because of the tax benefits thing and all this kind of business. But yeah, I mean, fiat on-ramping is super cool, no? Like,
it's super cool. And I think we don't necessarily need to hold back the soft launch for it, because soft launch, we're not trying to get donors yet. We're just trying to get the projects on board, and they won't need to create a connected bank account or anything. So I think this will be the fact that it's this easy to add. I think we should absolutely push to have this integrated before we do the big launch, so we can say, come donate with fiat. That'll be so awesome. And I was thinking about it, James. I think this is super cool because even with the fiat to fiat, with like Stripe or Braintree, projects still need to create a bank account or a connected bank account. And obviously, a lot of the projects that are going to be raising on Giveth, especially in the early days, won't have a bank account, just like us, or like we used to not have. So what I was thinking that we could have basically, like, without any effort on the project's part, if you don't connect a bank account, you basically get the on-ramp functionality. So a donor could come donate to your donation address using the on-ramp without any extra work on the project's behalf. Or if you want to connect a bank account, then that would be the default fiat flow. So if a user wants to come donate with fiat and you do have your bank account connected, they donate with debit or credit card or any of the different payment methods supported. It's super low fees, and then the project receives them in their bank account. They don't have to off-ramp or anything. If you don't have a bank account, then you can still accept donations via fiat, but the project actually receives it in crypto. And of course, there's a little more fees there, and the user has to KYC. What's still better than it's better than only having crypto donations.
It's kind of three ways, right? Like, and they all have their own benefits. I mean, we actually ideally want all of those. I mean, with crypto on-ramping, then like we get like the transparency and the ability to trace like Give tokens and all this kind of business, which we don't get with fiat to fiat. And yeah, I mean, it's all good, I would say.
And just out of curiosity, does it include an off-ramp as well, or just on-ramp?
I don't know about that. Is the answer I would give. I believe there's an off-ramp, but this is relying on my sketchy memory.
It's okay. It was a side comment. We can keep going.
Yep.
Cool. All right, I put that in down below and am returning to where we left off in the agenda.
Cool. Thank you, James, for just taking the initiative to try that out and getting it integrated. That's huge.
Sweet. All right. Let's see. There's more I want to talk about with SDG, but it's in a different part of the agenda. Let me just take a look real quick since we're still talking about it. Oh yeah. So I already talked about this first section where I'm meeting with Brian to figure out the process timing and fees, because I'm seeing things different across the different sub-DAFs that I work with. But the other thing that's really exciting to announce with SDG Impact is our Giveth Foundation is now live as a project. So we are accepting fiat. If you go to sdgimpactfund.org, and I think you can even just scroll down, but if you go to projects, there is the Giveth Foundation. You can go directly there. Here is our beautiful page and free open source decentralized application. It looks really good. I think if anybody sees anything in here that needs to be edited or changed, please let me know. I'm seeing that the way this picture cuts off is a little weird. But the button, donate now, when you click it, it brings up something that I feel like is less than awesome. It's a bit slow to load. You got some waiting, which I understand. It brings up a page for information to make a donation. This is what prompted me to want to talk to Brian more about convenience fees and other things. So basically, if you put in an amount here, you say you're going to donate $111, and I hit yes, it's going to give me a $40 fee for that. So either the donor is saying they will add this to their amount. I'm not quite sure what happens with the no, so that's why I scheduled a meeting. There is not a crypto way, so this is what we have right now if somebody wants to make a donation. And I don't know, personally, I think it could be better. I think they need some design support. But it works, and we can accept fiat right now, which is really cool.
Yay,
right?
We can accept it and turn it into crypto.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, I'm actually about to test that. I'm going to make a donation into our Diamante Bridge DAC, which is listed on Giveth One, and then have him convert that and distribute it to some campaigns in there, so we can see how that works.
Nice. Awesome.
Let's go on to the Give economy. We're at 11:35. We're moving pretty well through the agenda. Godoy, I gotta come check. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I can't look at it right now because I'm running a phone call. Gracias. I'm receiving paint for my new house.
Cool. I got a couple updates. I think Griff might have some updates to share as well. Our updates are pretty quick. Forrest and I, like mentioned, are going to be leading a sprint cycle and working with Gabby and potentially some more folks who want to be part of the official Give token team. But right now, that's like at least our main focus is making sure that we're making as much progress as we can on the Give token. Thank you, James, for putting together that narrative. Thank you, Griff, for putting together the meme narrative and the implementation details. Those are super helpful. And thank you everyone who voted on the ratifying the Give token allocation and issuance model. One fact that I was looking, I think we have like 77% of the Give token is allocated to the community, which is really awesome. I have not seen a project that has that high of a community allocation. I think it aligns well with our exit to the community meme and just our values as an org. So next steps, we're going to meet with Gabby this week. We're still scheduling that. It looks like the sprint cycle will be Tuesdays and Sundays are going to be kind of the main meetings for the Give token sprint. And yeah, we're going to meet this week and figure out if we're ready to start working on that, actually doing some development based on that issuance and allocation model. And yeah, I think, Griff, did you already, I saw that you had this doc in Notion with the Giveth token implementation. And I think that has some thought put into how, like, what the first steps are for actually like developing the token contract and the vesting contract and what that will look like. Is that accurate?
I don't know the document that you're talking about, but I definitely have ideas on where to start.
Someone made a document in Notion. I assumed it was you for Give token or for development.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I believe that was me. And it may be confusing, so it might be best to disregard it. Yeah. So
I'm looking at it right now. In Notion, there's a narrative doc, and I think this is the issuance document.
Yeah, let's quickly click on that one real quick, Danny. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but it'll be good to get clarity. So yeah, I assume Griff put this together, but James, you created this one?
Yeah, so basically, like, I watched the recording of the call I missed, and I made some notes for myself and questions that I had, and then I fired a couple of questions over to Gabby and Luke, and I was just clarifying it in my mind and like documenting it there. Yeah, and like since then I kind of realized like I want probably more hands off on this topic as such. So I think actually what Gabi started pushing for a meeting or something ahead of the governance. This was the same day as the governance call last week. So I invited him to the governance call. And then when I spoke to him again, he had said that he was not talking to Griff. And at that point, I just dropped it and said, okay, cool, this is happening. For me, like my intention for that was just simply to, I was wondering, like, could we get Gabi moving? And if so, what would need to happen ahead of that? But I'm a bit cognizant of getting in the way on that. And so sorry if that's confusing. But this is kind of like just a document where I thought it's useful to kind of like, to write down like how this is going to work as such. And this is mostly my understanding of that. So best of intentions, hoping not to get in the way or distracted, and happy to leave it in your capable hands.
I think this is great, though. It has lots of nice links. Thank you for this research. I think it will be useful. So,
cool.
And it's really nice to give people something to read instead of just having to have the video if you want to see what's happening. But long story short, Gabi said that he's basically busy for the next 10 days, focusing on some other things, but he's ready to start early Feb and go all in. And I would say that in that meantime, Willie, maybe you, Forrest, and I should just really have like a couple of hack sessions where we kind of put together an issuance roadmap based off of the what we have, and try to prioritize and these issues that are pretty much, I feel like most of it's already in the planning board. We just have to start separating it out. And yeah, I would love to have a hack session with you on that.
Awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, and James, thanks for putting together that doc. I think we were thinking a lot of the same stuff. I think we wanted to meet with Gabi this week just because we wanted to get the ball rolling. Like we also didn't want to be the roadblock, and we wanted to at least meet and see, are we ready to start building this, or are there any questions remaining that we need to answer, which seems like very similar intentions to your doc. And so awesome. It's great to hear that we've got kind of 10 days, and yeah, Griff, looking forward to hacking on it this next week, and hopefully, eliminating some of those blockers so Gabi can hit the ground running early bed.
Well, let's just talk on Telegram and schedule a time.
Perfect. Getting excited about it. I was also this past week, and I'll share it with you soon, Griff, but I was started working on like just what the announcement doc could look like. And I think that can be a helpful exercise, just kind of similar to the Uniswap when they announced the Uni token, just a similar doc that has the narrative in there, and it has like some of the details about the allocation stuff. Just starting to fill that out. That was one thing I worked on this past week, so excited to share that soon.
Nice. All right, we have this list of the priority unblocked issues in here. Is there anyone who wants to give an update on PraiseBot?
There is none, Danny.
No
Who is? Yeah, it's not assigned even to anybody. Did you talk to Frederick at some point, or should we try to find somebody working?
No,
I would say I have a quick update. So Common Stack is moving the PraiseBot to Discord. We'll keep the Telegram PraiseBot, but I think it fits better to just jump on that train with the Common Stack, since we're mostly in Discord anyway. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, cool. And if you'd like, so now it's, we will have that working. The goal is this sprint. Like, it's been the goal for like the last 4 sprints, but this sprint, I believe it's going to happen. So it's basically done. We just have to do some user testing.
Very nice. Who should I follow up with? Who is?
Chris.
Chris Jones? All right.
Chris Jones.
Perfect. Okay, I have seen some work on the compiling lists of past patrons. I saw the revolution.eth one has been updated. Any other updates on getting the printout of all of our past givers on Giveth 1?
I mentioned this to Amin. Amin, do you have any updates on this? I feel like you even did it already.
Yeah, it's a simple query to database.
I don't know how you should use that. Just want it at the moment. And now you need some continuous. Whenever a new a new user do some donation, you need to take action. You should just clear it out. What's expectation? But whenever, if you want to know it, I can create a script for you. You can run it easily.
Okay, I think this is the GitHub issue, right? Let's see. Yeah, so that's planning issue number 55, and it is not assigned to anyone.
And I made a it's a pick. So it's broken into smaller issues, and issue 58 is the one that Amin is.
Okay.
And we also have the capability to say how much he has donated in the USD value. At the moment, he has donated. If he has donated Ether 1 year ago, it's $200. But if he done it today, it's 1,200. And if you want to decide based on those values, it's possible.
That would be super cool to have that included.
Yeah.
Can you restate what's being included so I can put it into this issue?
The USD value at the time of donation.
Yeah, it means how much he has spent really in money in USD. What was the what's the worth of their donation? If he had donated 1 Ethereum 1 year ago, it's $200 maybe. But if he done it today, it's 1,200.
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty important piece. Thank you. Okay, I was not able to meet with Kim this past week. Sorry. Moving on. Okay, we have 15 minutes left. Is there any other questions or thoughts that we need to get in around the token economics? I think it's pretty clear what our next steps are.
Whoa, I think I'm muted.
No, you're not. Is this Tommy?
Okay, good. No, it's Mitch. I just noticed going to what Amin was saying in the CSV file that I imported into the Give tokens. I think you do have the timestamp and the prices of ETH already there. There's the Give tokens Excel sheet, and then I added in another one that says revolution.eth past donors. And so you do have the timestamps there, and you have the price of the ETH pegged to the transaction.
You mean that you are talking about the CSV of the campaign?
No, he did that. This is for the multisig. So revolution.eth is the Giveth multisig. And so he also has the historical ETH price, which is very useful. But Mitch, what Amin is going to do would be very difficult to do without the database that he has access to in Giveth 1.
Okay, sorry, I got mixed up with something else then.
Yeah, it's okay.
Cool.
Speaking of revolution.eth, I heard, Griff, that you got give.eth. ENS domain. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we have give.giv.eth. We have give.give.eth now. I just splurged on it, taking the crypto winnings and splurging on ENS names. And then we also have giveth.eth. And I actually have like a huge list. We have campaign.eth. We have milestone.eth. We have I have an obscene number of relatively useful ENS domains. So if we want to integrate ENS into our stuff, it'd be pretty easy.
What do you guys think about making give.eth, like the replacing or just mapping that to our multi-sig and using that as like the official donate to Giveth syncrypted to give.eth.
GIVF?
Which one?
I like the GIV.eth. I think that's my favorite. I think.
Me too.
Same.
And what you're suggesting is to redirect revolution.eth to give.eth?
To resolve give.eth to the Giveth multisig. So revolution.eth could still point towards it, but give.eth would also point towards it. And basically on the website, like on the Giveth donation page, using the give.eth as the official donation address.
Yeah, and well, I guess the question is, do we want to use that old multi-sig, or do we want to change our official donation address to the RepDAO or something?
Oh yeah. Well, so the RepDAO is on. Can we get donations on mainnet with our new RepDAO?
I forgot that's on. I totally forgot that's on next day.
That's the tricky part. If we could, then I'd say yes. But for now,
No.
I'm fine leaving it as a multi-sig for now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can do that during this call.
Sweet. Awesome.
Great. Okay, so 2 sections to go today. Let's see, are there any big updates, issues, or requests for Giveth 1? I mean, the main thing I have from last week is that we're going to be reaching out to the Giveth 1 project owners and asking them if they'd like to create their project on Giveth 2.
So I can say if you need the information, I can send you about the updates. Other updates, we have fixed some issues related to people have problem in the refreshing of the milestone. We have problems on the doing transactions. We get unexpected error pop-ups. We fix issues about fetching rates. There was timeout. We redesigned that part, and yeah, and we fixed the issues for the preview, and also we fixed an issue in the bridge monitor that one payment didn't go through because bridge security guard couldn't do the payment because of some problem on the another project that I didn't modify yet. I didn't know about the code. It took about 1 day from me. Yeah, those are updates from Glitchmine.
Thank you, Amin. All right, there's a link in here to the staging site content edits. That's a document that Forrest and I have been working on to get the content edits, and I think Ashley and Lauren might also be contributing to that, mainly just to get all of the different text consistent on the content. So we're using this Google Doc because we couldn't add other people to Contentful. So doing it in the doc, and then I have access to Contentful, and that's what I'll work on here today and tomorrow. Let's see. So I think I'm going to skip this here because
Hey,
we
Danny?
have
One of the things I noticed with that staging document is once we go live, those links, the hyperlinks, they're no longer going to be correct. So we need to, in that document, we'll have to put all of our hyperlinks to whatever it will be once we go live. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. So right now they're pointing
towards staging when we'll want it to just be just giveth.io, right?
Well, actually, if we're going to do a soft launch and test everything, they would need to go to V2 first. I wonder if that's
No. So everything
No?
in staging it's all the same, but just use Giveth.io just get a link from staging or from V2 and delete the subdomain. Then you will have the. I think we should do all the documentation for Giveth.io deployment.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Kai, do you have any other updates from the DevOps side before we go get our Giveth 2.0 MVP launch status?
Sure. We have a new DAO role in the Discord, and I can set up the metagame bridge. I think we agreed already on that.
Yes,
And
I would love to see that.
And the other one is I prepared the deployment for Giveth, so we can, I think, switch anytime.
Okay, and just to be clear though, for the soft launch, well, we can look at this below, but the soft launch, we're going to V2 first, right? It's not until public release that we replace Giveth.io.
There is nothing happening. Like, we are on V2 already. It's just how recent the changes were merged, and I merged them yesterday. And after the next big commits, I will merge them again, and it will keep it in general more up to date to staging. So V2 is there, and in my mind, I always understood the soft launch is going to Giveth.io with the DApp. But I'm not married to the plan, whatever works best for you guys. I think if we want to have persistent campaigns that are started with the soft launch, we should already be on Giveth.io. And also there is not much point in leaving the old website there and doing everything in the shadow, so to say.
Okay, so we should talk about that. I'm open to soft launching on Giveth.io. I was kind of imagining that we would soft launch on V2, and then when we do the official launch, that's when we would update everything. I guess the main rationale behind that was just to, give projects some time to set up their profiles and stuff, so that when we do the official launch, there's already a nice set of projects there, and also that we make sure that there's not, bugs. Part of the soft launch is to uncover any bugs that we miss in testing, and also get feedback. Maybe there's some UX stuff that we overlooked because we're so familiar with the app that if we see some common struggles reported by these projects, that will give us some great insight on what we need to improve. But I hear your points for also just soft launching on Giveth.io. I'm open to it. Does anyone on the call have any strong feelings about soft launching on v2.giveth.io versus Giveth.io?
I think as long as we don't tweet it, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. I feel like I have some resistance, but I can probably be pushed past it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kai makes a really good point that like making people change their links halfway through and stuff like that, or if there's technical hurdles, I definitely have resistance to it too. But if there's technical hurdles, and it'll speed things up by just going to Giveth.io. I mean, how many hits do we have a day? If it's less than 10, then and I'm sure I'd be surprised if it's even 2. So I think it's probably okay.
Yeah, I agree. Hearing that, that's a good point, especially if there's technical hurdles. And yeah, I think you got a good point too that V2 or the Giveth 2 is looking so clean right now that it almost even we pretty much have a lot of the same links and stuff covered that Giveth.io currently has, but I think it's even an improved UX. It's a really nice homepage, so I'm cool with soft launching on Giveth.io.
So let's talk about when that is then. We were originally talking about that tomorrow. Based on what I heard in the dev call, we're talking about letting that go out another week for the soft launch. So what is our new soft launch planned date?
James is overhauling authentication system, and it should be really good because we can talk about that.
Yeah, no, there's not much to say. You're right.
But that's why we push it 1 week.
Yeah. So we're aiming for like next Monday. I mean, we could say Sunday, even if. I mean, you were saying that the Costa Rica team has got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday put aside for testing, right? So I think it would be reasonable to say that we should aim to be live, say Saturday, something like this. If anyone, please disagree with me if any developer thinks that's not reasonable. But for me, I think that that's probably fair to say. Let's do it.
So it's January 30th. Okay. And that now means moving from staging to directly to Giveth.io.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So user testing, we're doing it right now, but what I'm understanding is that anything that's going in right now is going to get wiped, right? We're not at a stage where we're entering things that would be migrated. And when I say migrated, I mean, at what point will the projects that we load and test with be ones that will be there for the soft launch?
I would say that we should aim to add like live projects on live. I mean, unless anybody has a good reason not to do it that way. I think like migrating data from staging to the live database is extra work and it could be error prone. And I think I would prefer to have like an extra test layer of adding those again. But I mean, if there's really good reasons why we shouldn't do that, then we can of course make another plan. But that would probably be my preference. I don't know what anyone else thinks about that.
I agree. I think maybe Danny, were you asking just like at what point will the projects that we create on staging not get deleted? Is that what you're asking?
On staging, we should do that like having not thought about it, like we should do that from now on, you know? Or we should at least aim to do that, right? Like let's start moving into a space where we do that. Because I think the more projects we have on staging anyway, the better for our testing, because there could be edge cases that only come up with certain datas, etc. So we should start accumulating those now. So it's just a matter of making sure our deploy process is all set up correctly, etc. for this.
Agreed. Did you guys work on that this past week? I remember Kai mentioning this last week about setting up like backups so that we make sure that in prod the projects never get just wiped away. Did we work on that at all this past week, or is that still something that we need to do?
Kai, yeah, Kai and Amin were working on that more. I don't know if Amin was working on it. I think definitely.
No, I didn't do anything on that specific front. You were very, you sounded like you had an idea already on how to do it.
Oh, sorry, for the backup, is it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. That's on my to-do list. Yeah, we have an issue for that. So we're going to automate backups.
Okay, cool. So Danny, we are going to make sure that we don't, when we're live, we don't lose any projects in prod. So now I think, yeah, as far as testing this week goes, and anyone is always welcome to go test on staging. And then I think, but right now we're still working on this big refactor. Once that refactor is live, James will update us, and that will be when it's more important for everyone to go test to make sure that we're basically we're ready to go live, or seeing if there's any bugs that came out as a result of the refactor that we want to fix before going live. So stay tuned. Feel free to test them for now and check it out. But it'll be later this week. It'll be more important for everyone to do kind of a full final test where hopefully we can give the green light to go live on Saturday.
Cool. All right, we're at the top of the hour, but I wanted to just note that with this pushing out our testing for another week, it gives us an opportunity, if we wanted to consider that Valentine's Day lands right around where our launch is, and that could be a really fun meme opportunity.
Love it. Yeah, it kind of lines up because we were planning on doing 2 weeks of soft launch, and if that goes well, doing the official launch. So that does line up almost too perfectly. Yeah.
I know, it kind of feels really awesome. I like it. I'd like to really make sure that we I know I plan to give my full attention for this next 2 weeks to make sure we hit that launch date because I love it. And I love you guys.
That's so cool. And you know what else I just realized? This is kind of crazy, but it's exactly 1 year after ETH Denver. It'll be literally 1 year, which is kind of when Giveth 2 was born. So that's pretty cool. Coming full circle.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
The planets align.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so is there anybody who has to jump? I don't think we need to go into the marketing strategy, and we've already talked about DAF. But just so you know, Forrest, Magenta, and I are talking and developing the strategy tomorrow for our launch content and getting projects and all of that good stuff. And the thing I just want to leave with you guys is let's think about who are our partners in the space that we can reach out to and ask, like arrange in advance marketing and promotion support around the launch itself in February. So I've had a couple conversations with David Casey, who's really excited about this. He worked with Olexi to develop resourcenetwork.co. So there's a bunch of projects that are listed on Resource Network that we're going to get over into the pilot project list today and see if there's a way that we can leverage our mutual networks for that launch for people who are interested. So that's my question to you guys to think about. I guess we could call it some homework for the week is who do we want to talk to or align a marketing partnership with for our launch? And if you guys have any thoughts, anything you want me to write down, I know I would think obviously OneHive and Metagame should be people we're talking to and planning that for.
Common Stack, DAppNode.
What about the token engineering community?
Yep, token engineering. I mean, I'm sure that we effectively control like, oh, Bright ID would be a good one.
Cool. Trustline.
Speaking of Bright ID, Hasla and Danny Bell and I all started a seed group. So if any of you guys are interested in being a part of that seed group, I can add you to it. Basically, it would just give you the capability to verify people. At this point in the version that they're running now, that would be the usability. So just send me a message if you want to be in the group and I can add you.
Cool.
Is there a central place where we'll collect this list, or should we send ideas to you directly, Danny? Like maybe we could collect them in a, I don't know, in a document somewhere, or?
Do we have like a launch? What's the right channel to be talking launch? Giveth 2 is dev. Maybe we need a
launch.
I mean, we have a marketing channel, so how about that? Oh, I actually already posted a question in there in the marketing channel. Can you guys still see my screen?
Mm-hmm. And so these are people too that we just listing people that we want on like launch day to be ready to retweet us or post a tweet from there to their following? Or
At a minimum.
At minimum?
At a minimum that, but I feel like we could probably come up with some other creative things leading up to it as well.
I feel like
newsletters, blog posts, things like that.
I feel like this is just a suggestion because I know, Danny, I don't know if you've made friends with Notion yet, but you can create like something equivalent to like a spreadsheet in there where we can have different types of partners, like whether it's like someone to tweet or whether it's a launch partner or whatever it is, right? But it could be a bunch of like contacts or actions. And that way we can then assign each of those to a person. And if you want, I'm prepared to lay out a template of what that could look like. I could do that pretty quickly, just to give an idea, even if you don't want to use it, just to propose it.
I do want to use it because I need to be better friends with Notion. I just opened up the pilot projects spreadsheet. So there is this, I'm assuming this is what you're talking about. Like we can create one here called strategic partners. I mean, duplicate this.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
use this, but this is basically what you're talking about. Only we would
Yeah,
have one
exactly.
for our
Exactly,
strategic
something like
partners.
that. Something like that, yeah. Because you see, you have the tags there. Like this is a, you can have different color labels. Like that could be like a launch partner, or it could be like tweeter
Yeah.
or something. And then you can actually make a column then which links to people. So is should I work on this a little bit, or do you want to create a new one?
No, let's create a new one. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that right now, and we can do it together if you want.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. I know we're rolling on past the top of the hour. So let's go ahead and do our closing, and then if anybody wants to stick around and keep chatting. Okay. Griff's gone. Love you. Anybody? Sorry about that. My road is very motorcycle-y. Is there anything you didn't hear discussed here today that anybody wants to share while we're still here? No, let's have our Sunday afternoon back. Okay.
Yeah, Sunday fun day.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if any of you guys are thinking about coming to Costa Rica yet. Hit me up if you are. There's some really cool things happening here, and we'd love to see you here because it's good. Have an awesome day. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.